Testing. This
Testing
is awesome.
1, 2, 3. I'm grateful to be me.
Yeah,
That's how it feels today.
I'm grateful the sun is blaring like it is. That's
My
awesome.
gosh, I'm grateful for the longer days. Every minute I'm counting. I'm like, oh my gosh, 1 minute longer.
I'm grateful it's warm enough to not have the space heater on.
I'm grateful for that too. But I'm really grateful that everybody's back here to listen to us this week.
That's right. I'm so grateful you guys are here. This is John and Stefanie Ignoffo, founders of Plantspiration. That's the nonprofit we started to help people go plant-based to prevent and reverse their disease, help the planet, and save some animals.
Wow.
Woo!
That was amazing. People know us for losing 250 pounds as a family, but it wasn't just about losing weight. We reversed a slew of our own chronic diseases, things that we were told were genetic and that we couldn't get rid of. Now people know us for helping hundreds and thousands of people. Did I say hundreds? I meant like thousands, hundreds.
Thousands, yeah.
Well, there's so many numbers around
Soon
this
it'll
room
be
right now.
hundreds of thousands.
Well, we've got over 300,000 views
I know, that's awesome.
on our YouTube. So people know us from all over the world for teaching other people how to get healthy. That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Bringing healthy back is what we've been
That's
doing.
like
But
our
we're
motto.
but we're in Plantspiration Unplugged here today. This is where we're kind of unplugging. I'm excited. You know what I'm grateful for? Spring is almost here.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I need it.
We need I like this.
You like my outfit? I got my little
married to the
jogging
mob.
outfit on. Hey.
How you doing? Married to the mob
going
today.
on?
We're going to talk a little bit about heart disease, reversing heart disease. We just got off like the most, it's like a high listening to everybody in the Saturday support group,
Yeah.
empowering themselves, people dealing with doctors. And we did a lot. Everybody comes in here to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't get my mind off of spring.
I
mean,
love
this
it.
is the time you saw me. I was like, I'm going to get some of my summer clothes out. I'm going to start to get that motivation going.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, got to get back down in the gym a little bit more. Take it seriously. I've been bouncing a little bit on my bike, but biking inside is just not the same.
No, what, on the trainer? Yeah, there's like no breeze.
It is.
There's no
I mean,
trees, there's no breeze.
There's no trees. There's no breeze. And I was just telling Julie, I got to tell these guys about Julie.
Do it.
Julie, we're on the trip. Well, I was just
Who's
telling
Julie?
Well, I was on the trail the other day. I was talking to Julie the other day. Oh my goodness. And I said to her, I said, I woke up, you know, I saw the sunrise and I just thought about the day when I get to say, can you get your butt over here? You know, and she pulls up and she drags her bike out and we go out to the trails. We just hop right out the door on our bikes, right over to the trails. And we could take off all day long.
Oh, yeah. It's fun.
She is my ride or die.
That's awesome.
When we're out there. And I mean, that's not what I thought was going to happen when I first met her.
Right.
I was like, I don't know if you'll be able to keep up with the amount of miles I'm doing out here is what I first was thinking in my head. However, let me explain why. We were out on the trail. John and I were out on the trail and we pulled over to go to the bathroom. And we see this gal, what a sweetie pie, you know, and we start chatting, you know, about things. And she sees our Plantspiration shirt and she's like, oh, I'm a bit of a health, you know, nut too. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, I'm a retired health teacher. And we were like,
what school? Where at?
what? Exactly.
like-
And she says where we went to school. And
Yeah.
we're like,
we look at each other and like
Mrs. Barnacle? We ran into our health teacher from high school
yeah, it was
out
awesome.
on the trail.
It was awesome.
And ever since that day, you know, she's like, I'm out here all the time. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. Let's go riding.
Yeah.
And the reason why I said that is I do a lot of miles. I could do 20 miles a day. We do 120 miles a week. And for most people, when I say those numbers, my old self included,
Oh yeah.
I was like, what?
That's like driving to that town and back. That's far. What?
Well, let me
You
stop.
started mapping it out.
Let me
and looking
stop
at
and
how
go back
far.
of where my head was at. Yeah, there it is. We met Mrs. Barnacle and now we ride all these miles all day long. And my God, can she keep up?
Yeah, right.
And she goes plant-based. Then she does a 100-mile ride in one day.
Yeah, wow.
Centurion rider.
That's crazy.
She's an inspiration. She is my inspiration. Like, look at this. But I didn't think, I just couldn't wait to get out there. I just said to her recently, I said, look at this. We're getting closer and closer to spring where we can't wait to get out there. Now that is my stress management out there. That is my everything that I live for. But I never thought I would be riding like this ever in my life.
No, well, since you're like gave your heart a rebuild,
And you're not kidding me. Well, remember we had that friend who, I remember he would ride his bike from one town to the next, and I was like, how could you possibly, that's like 12, 13 miles. And in my brain, I was like, impossible.
Yeah.
How could you physically ride 10 miles on a bike? And I can tell you the year that I was thinking this. This was like 1997.
Oh, wow.
Specifically, I remember he was doing these rides, and I was telling his wife, I'm like, what does he take?
Yeah,
what is he taking to do this? And when we went plant-based, I lose all this weight. I didn't even lose all the weight yet. I just got on the bike that has been my clothes rack for 100 years. But once you put some premium fuel in, the engine is feeling a little bit different. And I start riding this bike. And I'm riding the bike and I'm riding the bike. And every day I'm like, John, I went 10 minutes.
Wow.
In this many miles. And actually, when I started seeing the miles going up to like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, now I'm on this thing for an hour. I've got weight. I'm just freaking out about how good I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I went those same miles that I thought were impossible. I actually thought the bike was broken.
Oh, remember? Yeah. You're like, this thing isn't tracking the miles correctly.
There's no way. There's no way it could be doing that. So that's what led us out into buying. We went down to our local Antioch Cyclery. We love them. They hooked us up with some bikes, fitted us, got serious about it. And now I think I'm over 19,000 miles later.
I mean, that's a lot of miles. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Never thought I could do that. Remember I said that was impossible?
Oh, yeah. Geez.
Give me some premium fuel.
I'm telling you, man, it would be like, you need premium fuel. Like with my hot rod, I used to put premium in it.
I was going to say, you would know. Take me, first of all.
Well, geez.
I met you, and I remember you had the Nova.
So
tell me about that machine.
That was an old beast.
Was it brum, 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 brum?
Well, it was just a regular Nova, but I was getting this nice engine built with like 500 horsepower, so I dropped it in that thing, and it was a beater looking thing, and they call it a sleeper. It's just old beat up car, and then I drop in this engine, and it's like 500 horsepower. But anyways, you got to put good fuel.
Hold on a second. No, not anyways.
Anyways,
when you talk about this, you like light up.
Yeah, well, I used to light up the tires in that bad dog.
I met you when you had that Nova. I remember it was black. I remember it kind of like a Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, I painted a white stripe on it, so it was actually looked like a skunk.
This is what reminds me of this whole thing today.
I'm telling you,
He's in stripes.
I got the 3-stripe life going on here.
Hey, what's going on?
That's all. It's not the mob life. It's just the 3-stripe chill day.
I think I like it. I like your looks.
Yeah, I'm one of the bosses. I'm an underboss or something.
So what I was going to say is I think this is why we have such great conversations about engines and heart and heart disease.
About it,
Well,
you can relate all the heart stuff, and with engines like the same. You got to put in the best fuel. Wouldn't you put in the best fuel for your hot rod? Because
I don't know anybody who wouldn't.
You're not going to get the same performance.
Well, do you know anybody who puts crap fuel in their car and says, well, it's cheaper?
Yeah, people are, but they don't really realize that the damage you're doing to their car.
People with hot rods, they would actually put cheaper fuel.
Back in the day, yeah.
They would try to get away with putting cheaper
regular
fuel.
Pump gas.
Because it was more convenient.
Exactly. It was like, oh, this is here. It's right down the road. I can just fill up here. And, I'm like, no, I'm going to drive the extra distance and get the good stuff.
You went out of your way for better fuel.
I went out of my way to make my car healthy.
Is that why your cars lasted so long? Well, you got into it. You didn't just have a Nova.
Yeah, well, I pulled it out of there and then put it into a 79 Camaro.
That's what you put in the Camaro?
Yeah, that engine that I had in there, it was just temporary. And then when I bought the Camaro, I took that engine out, put it in an oil. We did an engine swap in 12 hours and got the Camaro running.
Is that like a good
That's a
time?
good job. Yeah, swapping two engines, like from car to
I
car,
don't know.
and then getting one, like, okay, we swapped engines, put this one into the Nova, shoved it over there, then focused on the Camaro and got it all hooked up and
I
running. And
can.
it was like from noon, and I remember somebody stopped by and like, there's no way you're going to do that all today. I'm like, yeah, you'd be back about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
You got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to reduce cholesterol in 11 hours, but I don't know
And
how quick
they
it is
came
to
back.
like reverse or swap engines. It's like the same type of a.
It is. They came back in 11 hours, and it takes about 11 hours to drop your cholesterol. Yeah.
Okay, so so I guess it's like there's a time frame that you can change engines, and you did it in record time. You were
I don't
into
know
it.
about record, but
Well, I mean, I'm not talking
did
pit
good.
stop stuff. You're in your driveway doing this stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In your driveway.
No garage even.
You didn't
Yeah.
take it to a mechanic?
No, I'm talking.
You are.
Listen to this. We did it on a gravel driveway. Okay,
That's
with
serious.
boards of like plywood down. So using a cherry picker on that.
You
Got to
did
have a
it.
couple guys around, but yeah, we did it.
And people
It
would
was
put.
awesome.
And what happened if you kept putting that crap fuel in that car?
It's gonna run like crap. You're
And
gonna.
did they notice it?
Well, yeah,
And-
I think so. I mean,
Some people just don't care.
they never felt the good, having the good fuel in it, the
Wow.
highest octane. Because I would drive out of my way and it was like 108 octane we would get. I don't know if it was for airplanes or whatever, but there was like on the way to the drag strip, you would go past this gas station. So you'd
So-
swing in there and fill
This
her
is
up.
for any guys out there listening. I could see why. Do you need to? Do you feel it?
Oh,
If you
I'm
do,
good.
then let's clear
I'm
the
good.
engines.
Let's blow that carbon out.
Let's blow the carbon out.
Mm-hmm.
I could see how this is why we talk about. Well, this is why we talk about it as a highway to health with everybody, because we've got a lot of guys in here listening.
Yep.
And it's relatable. You know what premium fuel, you know what good fuel is like in your car.
Yeah.
And I always say to people, you wouldn't just, we've all had an experience where we don't get that good fuel or something gets into the gas tank.
That's right. I mean, you gunk up your carburetor, you get a lot of carbon buildup in your heads and your valves, and it just
What?
makes it run like crap.
Now you're talking,
Well,
Is that like the
that's how
fiber?
we relate it. Yeah, exactly. To the fiber, the nutrients, going easy on the nuts and the seeds and the avocado, keeping it on a download. You don't want to put like diesel fuel in your hot rod.
this is why, and everybody kind of knows that though, right? Doesn't everybody kind of know that stuff?
I think
You
so.
put good fuel in your car, everybody
get
know
better
you're going to
performance.
get better performance.
It should be. It is common sense, I think.
You'd think, but then, I mean, it is. And then here we talked about this week, we had that whole class on reversing heart disease. This episode, this is what we're going to dive into, is a topic that is shocking and empowering, that we've known about reversing heart disease since 1990. This is this, and it's February Heart Health Month.
Yeah.
We literally deal with our cars every day. We worry about the fuel in our car.
Oh yeah.
And yet
we're
here this,
scheduling that appointment to get it, the oil change, the brakes, this, that, and we just throw whatever food down our pie hole to get through our day, and that's not how it should be.
now we've got the leading cause of death is heart attacks, heart disease, the leading cause of death. Why is it still the leading, why haven't we heard about this profound, intervention when it's been around for 35 years? And somebody in class, actually, we teach the nutrition education and cooking classes on Wednesday night. And somebody in class said something, I just brought the whole, let's get down to the whole study of heart disease. I mean, oops, we lost your mic.
Well, I'm here.
And we talked about the study of heart disease. And of course, I said to everybody, if you know that plants can reverse heart disease, raise your hand. And everybody raised their hand. And we had a whole class of people. Like, I can't even see everybody on all the screens. How does that work?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So-
Well, I mean, there's like over 40 people. It's hard to switch between.
So everybody raises their hand that they know how to reverse heart disease. And the bottom line comes to, then let's do it.
Yeah.
And in 1990, when they did the studies, there wasn't, vegan junk food. There wasn't processed food.
Right.
They broke it down really nice and easy. And we'll break it down,
I
how to
mean,
do it.
It's just unbelievable how good people are doing in our group. I mean, I don't mean unbelievable like, oh, it can't be done. I mean, it's just like, it's amazing, I guess I should say, how good people are doing.
That's right. We're going to be
I mean,
talking
they are
about the.
crushing it.
You're leading. You've been really quiet.
No.
We're going to be talking about the Plantspiration Health Report, of course,
Not
too.
yet.
And this all relates. So I am kind of fired up about this stuff because we're not talking about it enough. We've got a leading killer. Hold on a second. I pulled up. Oh, somebody just gave us a 5-star review. It came right up on my phone 4 minutes ago.
Excellent.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and read it.
All right, here we go, live on the spot.
Plantspiration makes this lifestyle change doable. Stefanie and John give you clear guidelines on what to do as well as the science behind it. You can reverse the damage you've done to your body by eating whole food plant-based. Plantspiration is inspirational and motivational. It has inspirational and motivational experiences for you to participate in daily. They have coaching calls, cooking classes, Saturday support group. I joined in January 2024 and I've lost 23 pounds as well as some back and knee pain.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I didn't plan this. 4 minutes ago, it just
That's
came in.
excellent.
I got to here's the thing. I have to figure out how to respond to that stuff. I don't know how to work my Google. And thank you, by the way, for trying to help me with that this week.
We'll fix it. That was like so much paperwork and stuff to do.
What the heck is going on?
I don't know.
I freaked out when I got the email that said this one thing was suspended. I don't even know what one thing it was.
I know. They just need more information. Well, the thing of it was like, here, your how do we give to back to your nonprofit?
Yeah, we were trying to make sure all the monetization from YouTube was going back into that. But things, then there was other accounts and they're like, this is a very serious thing right here. And, I was like, what? I am very serious. Like, thank you for that. The leading cause of deaths I thought I had earlier studies. Let me just see.
Yeah. Well,
it's like one in every. Well,
I should quiz you on Dean's study, actually, if you
go
want
ahead.
to talk about studies.
Yeah, go ahead, quiz.
Okay, let me whip that out because I
1 in
actually
5
have
heart
it here.
attacks are a silent heart attack, and we do talk about that too. Okay, go ahead and quiz me on this
what
study.
does that mean, silent heart attack?
There's no sign of it beforehand. You go to
boom.
the doctor says everything's okay, you look great. You're just like the rest of people walking around not knowing it because
That's like a little bit of cholesterol coming off and then
it is.
getting caught, getting clogged, making an instant blockage. And
we hear that all the
unfortunately,
time, and we were part of that.
terrible.
I was walking around as age 21. I needed to be put on blood pressure medications.
Jeez.
This went on and on and on. This is what I mean. Doctors, unfortunately, are not talked about this groundbreaking study in 1990.
Oh, okay. That was the first question. When was it?
1990.
Yeah,
and
Dean
all week,
Ornish's study this was.
and all week long, I was saying on social media, like, for 20 years. I was
It was
wrong.
like 35.
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
1990.
Yeah, Dean Ornish's landmark study, the lifestyle heart trial. Heck yeah. It was awesome. How long did it go? Like, what was the
A
study?
year.
Yeah.
He did
yeah,
it for a year.
Yeah.
I'll talk about what he did. Hold on, let me talk about.
You tell me, and I'll
Usually
check.
I
I'm a fact
round
checker.
off or we kind of give off some tips. These would be the tips of exactly what they did in the lifestyle study and exactly the approach that we're taking at why we're taking this approach at Plantspiration. So in 1 year, do you want to ask me some other questions?
Well, no. I mean, how many patients? Basically, they did Dean Ornish's lifestyle program and the regular
This is great.
medical care program, basically the standard American stuff, all that diet.
So here's what went on. I'll just this is what you're probably going to ask me. I believe there were 28 people that did the lifestyle intervention, and there were 20 people that went with the standard, the American Heart Association current health model.
That's correct.
They went to their doctor. Their doctor said, go on medication. Their doctor said, this is what you could do. Probably, I'm guessing. They didn't say this. What do doctors tell people? Do keto, do Mediterranean. Their doctors tell them to do all this stuff. So for 1 year, they put people on, this is it right here. For 1 year, they put people on a low fat, high fiber, complex carbohydrate, heavy on the fruits, vegetables, whole grains, greens, lentils, they threw in some soy,
the legumes.
the legumes, soy, no added oils. This is a big deal here. People will cherry pick a little bit of this here and there. They kept it low fat, no added oils. So if there was a spaghetti sauce with a little bit of oil in it, they got it done.
Yeah.
They also included moderate exercise. It wasn't a joke. These people were coming in really sick, but they had them exercising. I believe it was
like 30 minutes for 5 times a week.
Yeah, or 60 minutes 3 times a week. They had people actually moving and grooving. And it didn't start off like that. Day one, the study took a year. They gradually moved people up.
Right.
And we also heard straight from Dean Ornish's mouth in the last conference we went to, and the same interventions for reversing Alzheimer's.
Yeah. I mean, the same program.
Okay. So moderate exercise was a big part of it. This is why, we're always setting these goals up, lifestyle medicine. Stress management was a huge dynamic. Daily yoga, stretching, meditation, deep breathing. This reduced cortisol and made a huge impact on our health. So many people are walking around going, why doesn't this work, or what's going on? Well, this is why we're bringing it
exactly
the way we are over here.
The big thing was the social support,
that was
the community.
That was the top 4 things he did in his lifestyle intervention study was weekly support groups. So, and we hear that every Saturday. And,
I'm telling you, people are crushing it.
Thank you, by the way, for leaving that. That was
thank you
amazing.
for that
And the
review.
timing. Did you know we were recording right now so I could see that pop up on my phone? In 1 year, 82. This is what I want everybody to pay attention to this.
What were the results of that study out of the people?
News flash. This should be across every screen in America 24/7. I've got a megaphone. I've got a great social media platform. In 1 year, 82% of the lifestyle interventions people, reversal of heart disease, 82%.
That's awesome.
So when I was in class, I said to everybody, how many of you, are going to get on this lifestyle intervention?
Everybody had their hand up.
Everybody had their hand up. They recognize it's not just the food over here at Plantspiration. It's the support. On the other hand, 83%, is it? Did not do so good, and they needed intervention drastic.
In the regular control group of the standard American diet, they needed surgical intervention for 83%.
And the other 82% needed nada. And 5 years later,
they were doing even better.
How you doing? Now, I don't know who's listening to this, but this reduced artery plaque, lowered cholesterol, lowered LDL, lowered blood pressure, 91% reduction of angina.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
This is why we're reaching and teaching people how to do this. And we are a little frustrated that it's not being talked about enough when we've got these amazing doctors doing these amazing studies. We're not writing the research. We read it, we hear it, and we impact it. We did this for our lives.
That's right. So we had to share it with the world because it's not out there and it needs to be.
And I'm asking everybody here to take in that research right now and let that reverberate.
Reverberate.
Did I use that right?
I think you did.
I know I did because I invented it.
That's a great word you invented.
What's stopping people from doing this?
There's a lot of things. I mean, analysis paralysis.
But you get bad gas in your car, your engine gets all, it gets messed up. What stops you from going back to that gas station and doing that again?
Well, when it runs like crap, you don't go back.
You don't. But what's different about food for us, our fuel?
What do you mean? I mean, you can feel it.
Well,
why would you want to feel
that food can be addicting.
Our food is addicting. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Look at how my engine was running before. I wasn't about to go on my bike. I certainly wasn't thinking about spring. Let me talk about this for a minute. This was one of the most depressing times of the year for me.
Yeah.
And I loved summer, but spring was the reality that I'm just bigger, I'm sicker, and it's getting even harder for me to get around.
Yeah. What do we got? Like 26 days, I think you said?
26 days till spring as of the day we're recording. We
You
record on
guys
the
need
weekend.
to get in here, man, and we're going to get this
Don't
crushing.
sit on the sidelines
No.
while we're over here.
Let's do it.
How much are we crushing it? Is it time yet?
We're doing awesome.
What's the number one cause of death in the U.S.? Let's just make sure everybody's aware of this. Because if you're going to listen to this podcast, let's make it educational while we're at it. Gosh, we're supposed
Isn't
to
that
be.
heart disease?
Hold on, we're supposed to be unplugged.
We are unplugged.
And here we are like, we're in class.
Well,
it's hard.
We're not in class.
Since it's February, Heart Month, I think that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it only makes sense to talk about that.
Heart disease is the number one killer. And the only diet ever proven on the planet Earth is whole food plant-based to reverse heart disease. No other diet. Losing weight doesn't mean you're reversing disease.
That's right. I mean, this is different than vegan food.
We just want to empower people. And we heard this morning, you know, every single person, honestly, is there one that isn't a plant-based? I think there's one person that they're doing really good.
Oh,
but
yeah.
every 99.99% of people that are coming into the community are already plant-based pros.
Oh, yeah. They know
They could help people reverse disease.
Yep, they know the information.
They know the information.
I mean, the main thing is having the support here at Plantspiration, the community, the support.
Well, why?
To really put it into action. You just need that. It's
What happened, though, they've got these people coming in here talking about going to the doctor with the books, the studies.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And
believe the doctor making them feel like this is why everybody rallied around her.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, yeah, I know, I've been through that. Doctors aren't talking about it. This is why it's so important that we empower people with there's something we can do. And then they feel good about what they're doing. They know the information. They go to the doctor, and then they come. They're all a mess now. Fear-mongering.
They get crapped on their information. Like, dude, this is the real thing. This is definitely fear-mongering.
I mean, we hear it time and time again. And
That's
I know
why
what that's like.
It's like you get in a group and you get the information, and
well, it feels good.
You know, it's a scientific. You can't have your own science, is what I said.
Well, it's exactly what we needed to hear back then. You know what I mean? And why I sought the information out. I needed to hear other people were doing this too, and why it was working. And it gets so confusing out there. I mean, again, everybody this morning talked about how bent they were. They get off track because of the protein information.
Oh yeah.
Even though they know. But that unplugging, I once again, everybody unplugging. I made people raise their hand.
Yeah, like just unplugging from the noise out there to really.
Well, no, yeah, I said how many people that we talked last week about unplugging. How many people have unplugged, and everyone who raised their hands who's been unplugging, they're doing amazing.
They're crushing.
Speaking of crushing it, is it too early for this segment?
I don't know.
Let's get into it. What do you got there?
This is old notes.
Dean Ornish's study. 82% of the people that followed this diet and lifestyle intervention reversed heart disease. And when I Googled, I'm going to pull it up right now. I tried to tell everybody this the other day.
Do it.
So here's what it says here. I Googled, can heart disease be reversed?
Listen to this.
While heart disease cannot be completely reversed. What? People just talked about reversing it in our group. They've reversed heart disease. But we also just talked about a study where 82% of people reversed heart disease.
I know. Well, that's
what?
That's how it is. That's why it's so messed up out there. Everybody's getting the wrong information. That sucks.
Additionally, medications can help manage conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. So again, doctors are telling people, not all, there's lifestyle medicine doctors out there. There's some who are supportive of our clients, but the majority are saying no to my patients that they cannot reverse it, and it blows their whole motivation.
Totally. Now, with that definition there, it's true if it's on there while still eating the standard American diet. Then it's
kind
how
of
are you going to
upsetting
reverse it?
It's important to note that the ability to reverse heart disease depends on factors like the severity of the condition. Yeah. What?
What's that? How much junk food you eat?
No, like how severe the heart disease is, where we've seen people with 7 stents
Oh,
reverse
yeah.
heart disease.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
The individual's overall health and their willingness to make lifestyle changes. Now, that is true.
That is true. And the good energy and all the good stuff that comes from the plants, I mean, you are just gonna turn it around.
Regardless, making improvements in diet and lifestyle can improve heart health.
For
but
sure.
most people don't know where to begin now. Well, and their doctor's going to tell them to probably do Mediterranean or try to do keto, which is just what they're taught to tell the patients. And yet somebody in class said those profound words. I'm baffled that this study continues to get buried
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
and is not taught to the medical students.
I mean, it's just not right. It's purpose, on purpose.
I talked about teaching the medical students. I did a heart health class to the medical students at Rutgers and NYU.
Right.
They were definitely confused with,
Yeah, they were.
not everybody, but a couple questions of confused about the cholesterol.
Yeah, a couple of questions were a little concerning.
Yeah, like if you don't get cholesterol from an animal, then where do you get it? You know, and this
well,
was,
how do I get my daily intake of cholesterol if I'm not eating eggs and stuff?
they're just not taught about nutrition. So this was a nutrition, class that I brought in, and that made a difference. I hope that they would tell their patients, at least tell them that this
Yeah.
option is there.
Question it.
Question it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got major statistics on how fast heart disease goes. Erectile dysfunction is a sign of heart disease.
Yeah, for sure.
But everybody's got these commercials going across that saying they're going to give
It's
them
all right.
pills.
You just take a pill for that. There's a pill for damn near
It's not going to
everything.
reverse it.
No, it's not.
It's not going to reverse it. But anyway, this is not just about the food. This is about the community. This is about the movement. That's the other parts. And that's why this coaching that I'm doing, we set that stuff up like we're setting goals. Everybody's on these different levels. How about that? How about her? 6 days a week swimming.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
6 days a week swimming.
That's awesome.
Chair yoga. Now now people are getting on the rebounder because the benefits of that are just astounding. And then when I ask people, like, when's the last time you were this physically fit? Never.
Yeah, never.
In her
great.
60s.
Yeah.
People are we've got a couple people who have retired just to get
Just to really focus more on
on
themselves.
their health. Yeah. Well, speaking of people who focus on their health, you are chafing at the
I'm not. You're chafing.
I am. I want to
are.
hear. This is what I live for. I mean, I do get to talk to people all week long, and I do know we've got some good news about some diseases that have been reversed this week.
Yeah, people are
but
really crushing it.
I don't get to see the total number of, drum roll please. The Plantspiration Health Report is brought to you by, let's say, Antioch Cyclery today.
Antioch Cyclery.
These guys don't know they're sponsoring us, but we love
right.
them.
Spring's right around the corner, so they're going to be bikes flying out of the
We
door.
love them. Rick and all those guys over there. You guys don't know we're saying this, but we're so grateful for our bikes. They changed our life. They saved our life. And we went
awesome.
from those rides we would take all the way down to Elgin.
Yeah, yeah.
From the Wisconsin border all the way
that's
down.
a pretty good cruise.
You can cruise we had no idea
You could
this
probably
stuff
go
was
all
out
the way
there.
to Florida, I bet.
Honest to goodness.
It's awesome.
Single track stuff.
Oh, I love that.
I just told Julie we got
You wiped out a couple times doing a single track.
That's dangerous. I like that.
Whipping through trails and trees and stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, where's
It's
she?
dangerous.
I look back, I'm like, oh no.
We have to wear helmets out there.
Yeah,
we
for
have to
sure.
keep ourselves safe. And that's what I tell people how I look at the food.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to wear your helmet to stay safe. So
I mean, just because it's not going to be an accident every time, we're not just ripping our helmets off.
You
Like,
don't
well,
know.
moderation. We'll get into that later.
you don't wear your seatbelt in moderation.
Let's hear this Plantspiration Health Report. I have no idea. Last week, we were at 1,316 pounds. We've got a list of medications people have gotten off of: metformin, cholesterol, insulin, Synthroid, blood pressure medication, Prilosec, Excedrin, ibuprofen. And the list of diseases reversed have been heart disease, diabetes, hypothyroid, angina, and eczema,
Right.
cholesterol. Well, wow.
People checking in with more
Let's hear this.
reverse thyroid nodules,
That's right. We had somebody
yeah,
reverse our
yeah.
thyroid nodules, thyroid disease.
knees and back better since weight loss. And they really feel the support at Plantspiration. Like that's a big key thing because I hear it more and more.
There's like a fill in the blank part. What does the Plantspiration Health Report questionnaire look like, by the way?
The what?
The question, like when we have it,
I don't know. It's about 8 questions, maybe.
what does it look like?
What do you mean? It's all put together on Google. It's
Name.
awesome. Oh yeah, just your name, weight you've lost,
All that stays.
back, yeah,
So
reversed and this and that. Yeah.
How much weight they've lost, what diseases they've
Yeah.
reversed, and
Anything
any.
better, any honorable mentions,
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
They feel the sport, not alone, practicing gratitude daily, focus on the goal they focus on the goal. It's clear and achievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hands don't hurt after a long day. Clothes are hanging loose. No more heartburn. Telling you to kick them butt off blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine, and blood thinners.
Off
so
of
they're
blood
really-
thinners.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk to them yet. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Things that most people hear they'll never be able to change.
Right.
Isn't that inspiring to hear?
Dude, seriously.
Isn't that enough for you to be like, you got to hear this?
Yeah. When
You
you
gotta
lower
hear
your
this.
viscosity and you don't need blood thinners, you feel fantastic. When you're doing it on your own, that's an awesome thing.
This is,
That's
you
getting
can
the fat out of your blood and you're feeling it. That's energy, baby.
most likely losing weight doesn't result in reversing disease.
No.
See what I mean? You can, that's not the way that this works, but
Right.
these people are doing it right and they're getting it down. I am so
are.
happy.
And doing it together.
Where-
I mean, they're crushing it.
Where
man.
else do you, well, yes, where else
They
do
are
you get to
doing-
hear people reversing disease every week, losing weight every week? We're keeping this
I'm telling
tally.
you, we didn't even get
Tell me
that.
the
Yeah.
number.
What was our last week number? Let me know.
1,316.
Oh,
It
wow.
was 98 pounds last week.
Well, now we are at 1,364.
Stop it.
So almost 50 pounds.
1,364.
Yeah, almost 50 pounds.
That's, you guys.
We're doing it. That's awesome.
1,000, say it again, 300
364. Yeah.
people are getting healthier over here.
And they're
And they're
crushing it.
eating more. That's what comes with this.
That is like one of the hardest parts is that brain change, the old diet brain, to get rid of that and for your eat your plants off program. I mean, if you're doing it right, this is all you can eat, man. Like I can tell you guys over and over and over. I've
what did I
had so
post
many
today?
more foods and flavors
What
and
did I post?
deliciousness since going plant based.
Everybody's cracking up at that post.
Oh man, with all we eating all the spaghetti. Did you see that picture I sent to you?
So
big
I made this post about, this meme where this girl is just chugging piles of pasta in her mouth. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I put something about like, let me just read it.
Yeah, read it because it's funny about doing that.
It was, well, everybody's thinking carbs are bad for you.
Oh yeah,
That's the whole thing.
That's
Carbs
what
are
we
bad.
run
Carbs
on.
are bad. All these disease reverses, all this 1,364 pounds, that's people eating pasta. But everybody's walking around saying carbs are bad for you. This lifestyle study that Dean Ornish did was people eating complex carbohydrates, this stuff right here. So this chick's eating this pasta, which is low glycemic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Carbs are bad for you. And I wrote, me and everyone else at Plantspiration as like we're just shoveling it in. Take that in.
That's awesome.
Not a lot of money is
It's
getting
for
made
real.
with people getting off medications and reversing disease, but man, is it nice to hear people getting healthy.
Heck yeah, that's
It's
real.
nice. You guys deserve it. I'm so grateful that you're here. I've noticed also over the last couple months the amount of people talking about their significant other getting involved.
Oh, yeah.
Or their kids getting involved.
And they
or
never thought they would.
they all say, they all come in going, I wish my
It'll never
so-and-so-"
happen.
It'll never happen every time. So the more people are hearing this, the less we're hearing things like, oh, I wish
Yeah.
so-and-so would get into this. I wish so-and-so. Because really, no matter what you're doing out there, don't you want to be a healthier version of yourself doing it? Don't you want to be around longer?
And that's the big change when you're doing it yourself. People are seeing it. That's the inspiration the world needs to see, and that's how it all goes.
Taking care of yourself is the greatest thing you could do for everyone else. And I had to take that in and really process it, chew on that for a little bit.
Chew.
Taking care of yourself is the greatest thing you can do for everyone else. We've gone through some hard times. We've gone through some tough stuff. We've gone through deaths. We've gone through losses. We've gone through grieving. We continue to do these things that it's there. None of this got rid of the stress in our life.
Right. Life is still coming at you.
It's still coming at us.
But we're just more equipped, more ready to take it on when you're healthier and your immune system's up, and
people don't
you know how
realize
to
that.
reduce your stress and have gratitude and just whatever's coming at you, not to freak out about it and really.
That took a while to undo.
Oh yeah.
And I
Not
see that's a
overnight.
big struggle for people like we talked about. Everybody in here comes in knowing about the plant. So
There's a big struggle.
if you're
for
out
me.
there and you're if you're out there and you're listening because you know about the plants, and this is why this Plantspiration group is going so good for everybody. We're talking about stress management every week. We're talking about community every week. And this is what's really bringing it together. The stress is never going to go away. And I know sometimes when I say that to people, I see like a sense of this isn't going to save everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Well, it doesn't.
But man, does it make it better.
But when you're focused on your goal, or you keep that in mind
Just
of
being
what
healthy.
you're doing. Yeah.
Well, just think about all the bad stuff that we've had to go through. And in those times, that's when I really turned it up. You know
Yeah.
it. You know
Yep.
it. When something bad is happening or something very stressful is happening, the old us would be like, you know what? We're just going to order some pizzas. Let's just be done with it
Yeah.
and
Eat
order
more
out. I'm too
breadsticks,
stressed
too.
out. I'm too stressed out. I got all this stress. When I realized, like, what is all this stress? None of this stuff I'm doing to myself, eating these pizzas or eating this junk food or, whatever it wasn't making the stress go away.
No.
It was making things worse for me.
Yeah, but it's that brain fix when you're eating junky food that you get that high and you feel like, oh, things are gonna be better.
That was there.
That's
But it was making my heart
self-soothing.
disease worse. It was making my health worse. And that's what everybody's in this pattern of doing. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'll start on Monday when I'm not so stressed out.
yeah.
Guess what? Monday's still coming.
Yeah.
Which road are you going to take? The lifestyle intervention route, where 82% of the people that jumped on that path, that highway, reversed their heart disease?
Right.
Or are you going to keep going down that same path with that junky fuel?
Yeah, the unhealthy trail.
That's just think about that for a minute. We're here for you if you want to make those
Definitely.
changes, but it's 26 days till spring.
That's right. Do you know, I got another number for you. Do you know that since we started this podcast, the YouTube is up almost 7,000 subscribers?
I did see that.
That's awesome.
7,000.
Yeah, almost.
We started this and we were at like 2,000.
Almost, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
That's already up that high. I
Yeah,
also
it's
know we
almost at
have like
9,000.
310, almost 311,000 views on our YouTube page.
That is awesome.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Those numbers.
Those numbers are great.
Who knew? Who knew? When we started this, we did a little research on doing a podcast. Oh, you need mics? Oh, you need a camera? Oh, you need a sign? Oh, you need all this stuff? I mean, I could have kept researching for another 5
We got
years.
to get this and then we'll start. And we got to get that and then we'll start.
A lot of people compliment us on the
It's like
room.
all we need is these mics and stuff and the computer.
Well, we wanted to, here's what happened is, the point of this is you have to just start. I could have sat there watching videos on and I did, how to start a podcast, how to do this, how to do that. Now let's listen to some podcasts. You keep that up, you're never going to start.
Mm-hmm.
You keep that up, we were never going to start. And we did that. That's why we're sharing this. We just said, you know what, we're going to do it.
It took a while. So I understand about the food stuff too,
It takes a while.
But this is way different. There was no Plantspiration there to help us out.
It was just us.
Yeah, we had to create it.
We did have to create it. I had to look up something to give me an inspiration because I'd never seen myself small.
Yeah, Well,
3 months in, I lost what I thought was the first and last of the weight I'll ever lose in my life. I thought I'll lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds,
just like every other diet.
and it'll be done. But I didn't have a picture of me being small.
Right.
So I had to print it out and then I put my face on it. So it was like,
That's cool.
but what I was saying is I lost track of what I was actually saying.
Well, when we were just crushing it. That's all.
Oh, yeah, we
started
just went into
Plantspiration,
doing it.
and you didn't have that inspiration to.
I didn't have that goal, but it was important that when we got this information and we reversed this stuff, we got to share it with people.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we started doing this and you feel better right away. And then it's like, okay, now I got to understand how come? And then how come we didn't know? How come my doctor doesn't know? And then, oh my God.
And we're here back to this topic of it wasn't just that us happening to us. For 35 years, we've been talking about the leading killer, heart disease. So for anybody listening out there, we've got evidence. Don't just take our word for it. Evidence that shows since 1990 that you can reverse heart disease, even though you Google it, even though your doctor isn't going to tell you about it, even though they're not teaching it to doctors in medical school, even though we've known for a long time that processed meat caused cancer and there's still not warning labels on it.
Man.
There's something that we can do, but they're still selling it. They're still selling cigarettes. They're still selling meat, and they're still selling dairy, and they're still talking about eggs being keto when that's not neato.
That is terrible.
We just talked about heart disease and the leading killer,
I know.
cholesterol.
I know.
Cholesterol. I can't stop. Cholesterol. There's one egg contains the same amount of cholesterol as 2 Whoppers.
Stephanie, 2 times.
Why? Who cares if eggs are expensive?
Yeah,
We
you
shouldn't be eating
them.
It just doesn't make sense to me why. Well, I mean, I understand it does make sense, but
Well, I'd agree.
why more people just aren't getting this information out there is why we're doing what we're doing. So we had a great class on heart disease, but every class we teach is about the foods, the action, the lifestyle, on how to make it happen.
That's right. I mean, we're eating our plants off and feel completely freaking satisfied. You don't need any eggs, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling
Oh my
you.
God, put you in some
Come on, you give me my
Dwight's-
tracksuit.
please.
Look out.
Oh, here we go. Well, we're just passionate about what we do, and I want it to reverberate.
Definitely. I'm going to get the papers. Get the papers. Okay.
Hey, I'm making it stick. Reverberate is
It's a great word you created.
I invented it, and it means to have a ripple effect or impact that resonates with people.
Boom. Plantspiration.
So
in a
we're
nutshell.
hoping that this podcast reverberates with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to hear other people reversing disease. Right here, every week we're going.
I'm telling you.
All right. Do we have any questions before we get out of here today?
That's what I got.
Here we go. Let's just
got a
break this out. Let me
question.
take a
I got a
drink.
couple of questions. Okay. How do you teach your kids or others about the ethical side of plant-based living without being pushy?
Ooh, this is a good question.
Sit them down in a chair and you slap them around a little bit. You tell them, hey, cut it
Stop.
out.
We don't do that.
I'm kidding. Come on.
This is a great question. You're not wearing those ever again. This is a great question. Say it again.
Oh, it's how do you teach your kids or others about the ethical side of plant-based living without being pushy?
Think about this. You get your kid a new bike, right? You know he needs to wear a helmet. How do you handle putting that on him without being too pushy?
Here, let's strap on this helmet.
Think about that.
You got to be
There
safe.
isn't an option for that. You put the helmet on, you keep them safe. You put them in the car, you buckle your kids up from the day you take them home from the hospital. There is no option. You buckle them up. That's how you keep them safe.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's not too pushy to keep your kids safe. And we have to remember that. What's pushy is going to the pediatrician and telling you that you need dairy and that you should start bringing in meats and proteins, that misinformation. That's somebody pushing information on you. I'm just telling you, read the latest research. Eating animal promotes disease. We have a leading killer. We have an epidemic of unhealthy people, and this is something that you can do about it. So that's how I just say, I get heated up because I faced that situation where I did feel like, am I pushing this on my kids? And then I saw the evidence and I thought, I'm buckling them up.
Right.
I'm making them wear their helmet.
I mean, it was bad. You were like, I can't believe the pushback at the pediatrician.
That's why I'm so strong about this. So
Definitely.
all I want to say is come in here and get the support you need and hear from all these other parents that, are not pushing anything other than optimum health and a better lifestyle for their kids.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We should just make that normal.
Yeah, that should be. It should be.
Yeah.
I got another one here. How do you teach people to focus on progress rather than perfection?
We have got to remember all the things that we've accomplished in life. You know, if we look back and we think about all the things that we've actually gotten through, all those tough times, all those rough moments, all those things that we have been persevering for, we have to think about the things that we've accomplished and what we've done rather than all the things that have gone wrong. Because if we sit here and we think about everything not going right, or like coming in here to do this podcast and not having the right microphones or not having the right stuff, if we kept focusing on all the things that weren't going right, we would never get anything done.
Yeah.
So instead we focus on the progress of a little by little, you know, we're reaching more people and more the numbers are growing. So that's way more exciting, thinking about, oh, I lost 0.2 or my pants are a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
When people are more focused on those micro wins rather than not doing things right, that's all it takes for people to win.
Definitely. It's that micro win build up.
It's absolutely that. We have to focus on progress every day. And that's how we did this. That's how we got here.
That's perfect with this next question.
Oh, brilliant.
What's a win you celebrated recently, and how did it keep you motivated?
What's a win?
Yeah, you've celebrated recently, and how did it keep you motivated?
Well, every day is a win.
Yeah.
Every day is a win compared to what I was living like before.
Yeah.
Every day
Oh my
that somebody
God.
texts me and says, I got off, you know, my nodules are gone. I got off my thyroid medication. I've lost weight. I went to the gym and I'm in my 70s and I've never done this before. You know, I went to the pool every day. Wins,
Looking forward to
accomplishments,
these wins every day. You're looking forward to it. You hear it from people.
and
It's
they just
awesome.
keep coming.
How could you not want more? That's great.
This is one of the greatest accomplishments I've ever done, was taking care of myself so much that it inspired everybody else to do the same.
Definitely. I mean, you got people looking at, getting on plantspiration.org and they're like, wow, I'm signing up, and they're doing it. And now they're like
26
dropping
days.
weight, dropping disease and medicine. It's awesome.
26 days until spring. Who doesn't want a fresh start? Avoid FOMO.
Yes, definitely.
I
Get
just
in
learned
here.
that word.
Hey, watch your mouth.
I just learned that word. Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
I don't want people watching from the sidelines, because
Oh.
not even the studies, the studies even show us that's not what's helping people reverse disease.
No.
I don't want people waiting on the sidelines. I want you to join our community, and I want you to make this year, this spring, this start. How is
Heck
that
yeah.
happening? Whoopsies.
It's perfect, though.
Time to end. I forgot to put that on Do Not Disturb, but this is how people are turning it around. And our mission is to educate, motivate, and inspire more people to eat their plants off and
yeah.
learn how to get healthy again. There's a lot of talk about it out there. There's a lot of talk, and we hear it over and again. A lot of talk. Well, I'll tell you where there's a lot of action.
Right here at Plantspiration.
Give me some.
Give it.
All right, you guys. Well, that's another episode of Plantspiration
That's right.
Unplugged.
We had a great time.
We're
It
going to
was
wrap it
awesome.
up because it is getting nice out, and I already want to go outside.
It's awesome.
My engine's like a hot rod, and it's constantly on the racetrack of what next.
What next? You got that frame up restoration. You're ready to pull it out of the garage.
That's how I want everybody to feel. Well, I hope this
yeah.
reverberated,
Yeah.
inspired everybody to eat their plants off. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and keep on spreading the word. 1,364 pounds.
We're crushing it.
That's what we're doing
and
over
you
here.
can too.
And getting people off,
Medicines.
living longer, learning, loving, living it. Thank you
That's
guys so
right.
much, and we'll see you next week.
You guys-
Keep on crushing it.
Be cool.